Is it just me? It's a bit echo in here. Okay, that was just a bit cheesy, but you have to admit that the effect is pretty cool. And this is what we're gonna look at today with this very cool plugin from Baby Audio called Spaced Out. Hey, what's going on? Chris Lim here from Mixdown Online. Hope you're safe, hope you're well. Now let's talk about this very nice plugin from Baby Audio called Spaced Out. I don't know if you heard of Baby Audio before, but I actually talked about them on my free mixing plugins video. I actually talked about the 2 free plugins they have. And they're also behind the Comeback Kid delay plugin, which is an amazing delay. But this time around, we're talking about space, we're talking about echoes, and let's take a look at Spaced Out. So I'm gonna start this one by going through the plugin with you, tell you how it works by using just a piano sound. Then for the second part of the video, we're gonna dive in and try this one on an electric guitar, on a synth, even on drums, which is actually quite interesting. So you need to check this out. If we look at the GUI itself, it's simple, it's straightforward, it looks very nice. We can also go between daylight mode or even the night mode, which is going to give us a darker color tone to the plugin. I'm going to keep that to daylight for now. You can also resize the plugin. I think that should be mandatory for all plugin manufacturers to be able to resize plugins. I love companies that do that, and this is what we have here with Spaced Out, which can be practical, especially if you're working on a 4K display, like I have on my side. Now, the plugin is divided in 3 different sections. We have the left side of the plugin, which will manage the echoes, the right side that will manage the space, in other words, the reverb side of the plugin, and the center section will manage the balance between the echo side and the space side of the plugin, and also the wet and dry signal. So at the moment, I have this plugin as an insert plugin on my virtual instrument, which is a piano virtual instrument. So I can balance the wet and dry signal by just bringing that joystick up and down. So if I bring it fully up, it's going to be 100% wet. And if I bring it down, it's going to be 100% dry, and the blend between the two. The left and right is going to be the blend between the echo side and the space side. Okay, so this is going to be the right and the left of the joystick. So let's bring this one to 50% wet on the echo side. We're going to start by looking at what we have as far as the echo goes. I'm going to turn off the space side, and this is easily done by clicking on that small on and off button. And you can also do the same with the echoes if you want to. So the echoes I'm going to keep on, and we're going to look at what we have here. So first of all, we have a 16-step delay sequencer synced to the DAW's tempo, and the different modes are on top. Okay, so right now it is set up to straight. Then we have 2 times, which is going to be twice the amount of BPM. Then we have ×2, dotted, and triplet. I'm going to keep it to straight for now. And as far as the 16-step sequencer goes, this is where you'll be able to add your delay points. Okay, I'm just going to clear that up by clicking on clear. To add a delay point, you just need to click inside a square, and there you go. Now there's 2 different intensities you can choose from. If you click a second time, you're going to have a kind of a more quiet delay point, and the third time is going to be to remove the delay point altogether. Okay, let's try this one out. That's pretty cool. You can also use the generate option to generate different types of patterns. That one is actually pretty cool. If we go down, we have the intensity, which is going to be the amount of feedback you want to add, and also the amount of sustain of the delay point, which is actually pretty nice. So let's add a bit more sustain. So you can definitely go crazy with this. For dimension, it's off by default, but if we click once, we'll have a ultra wide type of effect. And motion is more like a ping pong delay effect, which is quite nice. I'm going to leave it at motion for now. Then we have textures, which will give us different tones to the echoes. By default, we have the clean. We also have wonky tape, which is actually pretty cool. You can actually hear that type of modulation going on, which is quite nice. Then we have lo-fi. Then hazy. Let's leave this one to wonky tape and we'll move forward. Now, the reverse is actually very interesting. That will reverse the echoes. That is quite nice. Okay, that could be very cool for specific type of effects. Reverse can actually be very handy. A filter is essentially a high pass and low pass filter. Very cool if you want to clean up, especially like the low end of the echoes. You can do that with the filter type, or if you just want to dark up the sound a bit, which I like to do. For the most part, I'm going to do it straight with filter, which is going to, again, apply a low pass or a high pass filter on the echoes. So this is essentially what we have on the echoes side. Now let's look at the space side and listen to the type of reverbs we have to deal with here. Okay, I'm going to bring my joystick to the far right at 50% wet, since my plugin is inserted on my VSTi insert. We also have a joystick control to balance the reverb length and modulation behavior of each sides. So that one quarter on the top right, we have the type of space we're going to end up working with, which is a more of a lush type space. So we can balance the length and the amount of lush of that space. Let's have a listen.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good.
If we go to the bottom right,
I want more than good, 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 good.
now we have more of a trippy type of sound.
I want more than good enough.
Which is quite nice. Let's go now to the alien side, which is going to add a bit of a phasing effect, which is again very creative. Very nice. And on the top left, we have the cosmic effect.
I want more than good enough. I want more than good, good,
that is quite interesting. So there's a lot to work with here. Then on top we have program, which is essentially going to be the size of the space we're working with. Now by default, the medium space is the one selected. We also have vacuum.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good.
Which is actually pretty nice. It's a more of a tighter space, very useful. We have small space and also the outer space, which is just crazy.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good enough.
Now I'm overdoing the effect just to learn about the plugin. This is the best way to learn about a plugin. You just overdo it, you bring that to the extreme, and this is an easy way to know about the plugin's behavior. At the bottom we have a pre-delay, which can be found on most reverbs out there, which is just going to delay the start of the reverb, which is going to keep the initial transient of your signal a bit more dry. Then we have Stardust. This one adds an angelic sustained shimmer to the reverb tail.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good.
Then Mellow is going to act again like a high pass and low pass filter.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good,
And cleanup will feed the reverb with an alternate dry signal for a cleaner sound and a less denser sound.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good.
And width is, the balance between full stereo and mono.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than.
Now let's balance this out with the echo side, and this is the crazy part. The center part of the plugin, which will balance the dry and wet signal and also the balance between the echoes and the space. So let's try this one out. I'm going to activate my echo side.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good enough. I want more than good.
At the bottom of the center section, we have Ducker, which is actually going to duck the reverb and delay, the entire plugin with the incoming signal.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good enough.
So this way you have like a super dry attack, and it just, keeps the reverb and delay out of the picture with that initial attack. Then we have also a Ducker sync, okay, that will sync the ducking effect with the tempo of the song.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, good, good.
That's interesting. Then what we have the lift. I'm going to bring the lift off on, and that is a combination of a compression, mid-side processing, and the EQ on the wet signal. It's the goal is just to glue all those effects together.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, 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 good.
So pretty straightforward. Sounds pretty well, actually, when liftoff is on. Then we have the output, which is essentially the output level of the plugins. One last thing before we move on is this generate feature that we have here. That will generate different patterns and different spaces blended together to give you like some more creative ideas and more options. And it does it in a very intelligent way. So it's not only like a random type of thing going on under the hood, but there's something more to that, which is quite interesting and very well done. So let's try this one out.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good, good.
And that can actually be a good starting point, and I can balance that out to my taste afterwards.
I want more than good, 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 good. I want more than good.
So you can spend some time experimenting with this type of feature, and that can actually, give you some very cool ideas. And there's also access to a bunch of different presets you can work with and you can experiment with. Let's try Spaced Out on different types of instruments. So let's start by listening to the drum loop, and then I'm going to just bring Spaced Out in the picture. Kind of like that, Now the ducker is very useful because I want, the wet signal to be ducked down when the dry drum signal comes in, and that works very well. If I blend that in the context of the music. Pretty cool. Okay, I like that. So in this case, it is a very cool creative effect for drums, which I usually don't add delay. But for this type of song, it works very well. Okay, so now let's listen to, I have a lead synth going on right here. Let's bypass Spaced Out. Super nice. I really love that sound. Very cool. Then for the next section, we're going to try this one on an electric guitar. Pretty cool, okay? Sounds very good. Now on my MicroFreak, I really like that. Pretty cool. So let's listen in the context of the music. I'm going to just pan those around just a bit. So that gives you a very good idea on how this plugin works. Now I overdid it. There's a spaced out plugin on almost every tracks on this song, but still, you know, just to give you the idea on how this plugin behaves and how it sounds like and what you can do with it. So there you go. This is Spaced Out by Baby Audio. Love the tone of the plugin, and this is something that Baby Audio is very good at, just to integrate that type of vintage vibe into their plugins, and they did the same with Spaced Out in a very cool way. So basically, I love working with this plugin. It sounds great, it's easy to work with, and you just need to get a hold of all those parameters, which are easy to understand, not that complicated. I love the fact that you have access to a delay, you know, with echoes, and also a reverb, all within the same plugin and in a very creative way. If you want to know more about this plugin, I'm going to leave the link down below. Check it out. You can also download a trial version if you want. So this is going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If so, share, like, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And even if you're not and you're still not subscribed, just click on that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss anything. Until next time, take care and see you.